second. But this is what you're waiting for. The games you should be talking about right now. What's going on? The stories you should have heard about. All right, first off in the story you should have heard about, Capcom's in the news, and not in a good way, sort of ish. Apparently, at the last Capcom investors meeting, the investors chose to take down the barrier that restricts, well, basically take down the money that restricts a company from coming into Capcom and basically doing a takeover of the company, buying more than 50% of the stock, which will make Capcom be bought out or owned by another company, just like Rare was done by Xbox back in 2006 or 8, I believe it was. So how do you guys feel about it? I think we all kind of saw this shit coming. Not this per se coming, but Capcom has definitely been on a decline and was, by my part, the biggest no-show at E3. I mean, Street Fighter Ultra was there, but that shit came out like a week before E3. You know what I'm saying? Besides that, Deep Down was there. But Deep Down now, if you're a PlayStation 4 fan, you're not even getting Deep Down because it's not coming out in America.
Nope.
So my question to Capcom is, what the fuck? So obviously, this is what the fuck. What do you guys think about it, Lone Wolf?
I'm hurt a little bit because I kind of grew up with playing a lot of the Capcom games.
I mean, who didn't, right?
It's just one of those things where you knew it was coming due to the decisions that they were making. I mean, the one title that they were really focusing on the most was Street Fighter. What about their other IPs? They're canceling Mega Man. I mean, you got the Resident Evil series is going down the toilet. I mean,
Inafune, basically, when he left, I mean, that pretty much
spiraled.
The game creator who basically was spearhead Mega Man, Street Fighter, Dead Rising. I can go on.
Yeah, I mean, they had a lot, or they still they will be losing a lot of IPs that they could have used to keep this company afloat.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely have the back catalog to do these to keep good games coming out. I mean, maybe not good games, but I mean, they have the adored IPs that have been around 20 plus years. So I mean, they fucking up. Tony P, what's your thoughts about this, man?
I just have fond memories of Capcom growing up. I mean, first game I played was Street Fighter 2 Championship Edition on Sega Genesis. You know what I'm saying? And from there, I mean, practically almost every Street Fighter game I've played solely for the fact that it was Capcom.
I mean, Capcom.
Granted, I played other games on Capcom. I'm not just gonna say that I was just strictly Street Fighter, this, that, and the third.
I mean, Capcom was the third-party company that if their game was on your platform, that game was gonna sell. You know that's a big IP.
And you knew it was gonna sell.
Yeah, like they're a third-party company that made games like first-party. But to my point, this is saddening to me because it means that, like, you know, Mega Man, Street Fighter, Strider, Final Fight, some of these beloved franchises.
Final Fight, yeah. I was saying Final Fight was another one that I got hooked on just because it was Capcom.
Yeah, I mean,
you know what I mean?
I mean, all these could be shipped away and sold, and like THQ, all their properties got sold, and another company can make the game and make it any way they see fit, even if they want to stay true to the original concept or not. But I put this caveat out there. Besides Street Fighter, which, of course, this is a basically fighting game centric, not podcast, but basically a group of guys. You know, we mostly play fighting games. But my cough is not as bad as it was last week. No. Not as bad as it was last week. I coughed through all that shit last week.
Yeah.
But basically, a lot of these IPs like Final Fight. We haven't had a Final Fight since Sega. We haven't had we just got a Strider.
Well, no, correction. They had a
PS.
PlayStation. They had Final Fight Streetwise on PlayStation 2. But
PlayStation 2, which is 2 generations ago.
Yeah. Now, as far as that, yeah.
I mean, they tried to reboot Bionic Commando, and
that was unsuccessful.
Exactly. They tried. I mean, they for a 360 game at the beginning of his life cycle, Lost Planet.
Lost Planet, yeah.
Great game, first one and the second one. But the technology was kind of going a ways away with the third one. It was just a cash out, and it didn't cash out for them. They're selling out already their first company like best games like Devil May Cry out to fourth party developers to develop for them. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And everybody's belly aching about the Devil May Cry. I actually like the Devil May Cry. I think that it wasn't as intricate a fighting system as the Devil May Cry that I'm used to, but it was still a very good game, and it actually had a cohesive story, which Devil May Cry to me has never fucking had. I mean, they go. The last game is like the second game, and then the first game is the third, and it's
so in other words, it's basically like Star Wars, but game wise.
No, I mean this is worse than Star Wars.
No,
this is
much worse.
This is
Star
like
Wars when it comes to
I mean at least Star Wars had a fucking like a 3 set in the same story. This is like having episode 2 first. No, I guess in the Star Wars it'd be episode 7 first. And then going back to episode 2.
Oh damn!
And then going.
That's why I said like Star Wars, but worse.
But worse, way worse. Yeah, you know what I mean.
Dang.
So I mean, if the right developer gets the IP and is passionate about the IP, because obviously Capcom isn't passionate about any of their older IPs anymore. I mean, when Mega Man is put on the shelf and is now Rockman, and they're obviously. I mean, we don't know what their operating cost is and things like that, and what their financial situation is. Obviously, it's not good if they're wanting to get sold out. I mean, now, granted, they haven't said they want to get sold out. Nothing might happen. It's a possibility that nothing might happen, but something probably will happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Somebody can come in.
I'm kind of hoping that
they're not in bankruptcy.
No, they're not.
They are.
Hoping that they get something together so they don't. They don't have to sell.
Dead Rising did very well on the Xbox One. I mean, it's I got the demo. It's pretty fucking amazing actually.
And then you're gonna play. Was it Super Ultra Mega Hyper Championship?
Which I did a little streaming, and that looks awesome too. I mean, oh my god, the realistic they went the right way with the realistic graphics and everything, but it's still goofy. But when you slice a zombie in half, it's wow. But anyways,
every bit of gruesome is.
But that game wasn't even going to get made until Xbox came and funded them and told them basically, "Hey, you're making this for us."
Oh,
you know what I mean? So this brings us to the beat of the subject, as it were. I want Capcom to keep making Street Fighters. I want Capcom to keep doing the fighting game that they're doing. I mean, I think them getting sold by another company, have Capcom make the actual game mechanics of the game, but their network is not the best for fighting games. And in this day and age, the network is everything. Look at Killer Instinct. Look at Third Strike. Look at all. Even Marvel vs. Capcom 2 reworked for the PS4 and 360. Those games, their networks are very, very good. You know what I mean? Even if you have a bad network, you can get a less laggy game. You know, even if you have a good network, you know, Super Street Fighter Ultra and Arcade, not the most reliable. But I don't think that Capcom properties being sold off to other developers is a bad thing. I think we'll actually get these games that we haven't gotten in years and years and years, like the Final Fights, like the Striders, like we got the DuckTales, but it was a remake instead of the actual fucking game. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like a lot of these beloved, like older Power Stone. Fuck.
Power Stone.
Yeah, Power Stone.
Power Stone.
As popular as Smash Brothers is.
Power Stone?
Power Stone is the only other game that can. And imagine if they put some like popular IP characters into Power Stone that are beloved. Like, you know, like take the Segas or whatever like that, you know, and put some of the Final Fight people into Power Stone.
Yeah.
Put some of the Street Fighter people into Power Stone. Power Stone.
That would.
It's basically Smash Brothers. It was Smash Brothers before Smash Brothers.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like
3D
just with people who nobody knew about.
Yeah. I mean, it was a Dreamcast exclusive, but Power Stone 1, 2, amazing games. They don't hold up as well now because of the graphics and everything like that. But the concept of the game is basically what Smash Brothers is right now, except with Nintendo characters, of course.
Yeah.
What I'm wanting to see is another Darkstalkers.
Oh man, come on!
Yeah, I was just about to say Darkstalkers. I mean,
Darkstalkers, man.
Need we go with another fighting game that was dope.
I mean, it's so many other fighting games and just IPs in general that I would love to see Capcom do.
I mean, ghouls and ghosts.
Ghosts and goblins. Yeah. It's like that's like I think the most positive thing that can come out of this is they sell off some of their properties and these games actually get made.
Yeah.
On the other hand,
We digress.
On the other hand, say a company were to come and buy the majority, 51% of Capcom's what they're worth in shares, should I say, and become the sole proprietor of those games, and had said games come out on an exclusive system, i.e. Xbox, Sony, Nintendo.
Right.
That's gonna.
What are your thoughts on that? Because I know what I'm thinking, but what are your thoughts?
That's gonna be rough for a lot of people.
I think it to a certain degree it would.
Street Fighter on one system, you can only play it on one system. Street Fighter on the Wii U exclusive.
I'm sorry. I hate to say that would be the only way I don't play a Street Fighter game.
Exactly.
I think you would buy. You would buy.
Nah, I wouldn't. Trust me, I wouldn't.
Killer
New Final Fight Wii U exclusive.
Nah, I just wouldn't play it. Either that, I find somebody who I know has it, and I just go to their house and play it, and then go about my business. But you're not gonna make me buy a Wii U just to play Final Fight or Street Fighter.
I mean, I bought an Xbox One because I wanted to play Killer Instinct.
Yeah. Killer Instinct is since it's an exclusive because of Rare.
Yeah, we'll get into that in a minute.
Yeah, because of Rare.
Yeah, we will.
Well, some people will be accepting of it, but a lot of people would be still upset. It'd be like that butthurt thing.
So who? I mean, New Asura's Wrath, Sony exclusive.
I would.
I'm just saying. We do have PS4, so we're not gonna sit here and say we wouldn't. I'm
just putting it out there. I mean, like. Capcom has a lot of IPs that are really good. Next Devil May Cry, Xbox One exclusive.
That'll be rough for a lot of people. No matter what system that they have, it's gonna cross people the wrong way.
Who do you think could buy? Who do you think about it? What company could come in and buy it?
Microsoft
or Nintendo
Nintendo. I think Nintendo would take some of the IPs. But I don't think they take majority.
But I don't. But this is what I'm saying. If they put their IPs and their shares can be bought now, so other companies can have stock in what they're doing. So if you have a majority of the stock share, you can make that company only put games out in your system because you control majority of the shares.
Right.
But what I'm saying is, instead of Microsoft going, like when we were talking about Rare, Microsoft didn't go into Rare and buy their IPs. Microsoft went into Rare and bought Rare. Banjo-Kazooie, Killer Instinct, a bunch of other games that Rare makes, Conqueror, all this, all in third. I was thinking Sony would be the most logical choice to buy Capcom. Sony's is it Japanese or is it Chinese? Japanese company.
Japanese.
Capcom's a Japanese company. They understand each other's language. They I believe Devil May Cry when it first came out was a Sony exclusive. Mm-hmm. For a while, Street Fighter was Sony PlayStation exclusives. All these games came out. Sony, the company, because I know I'm the Xbox fanboy. So Xbox and Sony are doing well. Sony's PlayStation is doing a lot better than Xbox One.
Right.
But Sony as a company is losing a shit ton of money daily as compared to Microsoft, the company. Sony is losing a lot of money on their TVs, on a couple of their Roku-type devices, 3D, 4K TVs. Most of their hardware, besides PlayStation, is really hurting their overall company. So that's why I say if anybody were to buy the company instead of just IPs, I mean, they might scoop in to get a couple IPs if Microsoft moves slow. I think everybody's playing like a waiting game now to see what everybody does.
Yep.
I don't think that Sony, the company, is in a good position to buy the company. Microsoft, however, is profiting from Xbox One, not as much as Sony is, but they don't need the Xbox division as much as they need. Sony needs their PlayStation division. Every PC you use has Windows XP or some kind of form of Windows on it. Of course, Microsoft's not doing so well with the handhelds. But as far as a company, Nintendo and Microsoft have the most money to gain. Now, Nintendo is not in a position that Nintendo has a shit ton of money.
Yeah.
They've got a treasury that's pretty substantial. They're like their own country and shit. Like,
Well, when you're a company that's been around for over 100 years,
and then you
kinda
had,
sorta,
and you came out with the Wii, which sold gangbusters. Let's be honest, you know what I mean? It was just no other console ever will sell like that. It's crazy. But you have a treasury, so they could potentially come in, scoop up, buy all Capcom properties and buy Capcom, which would make sense in the sense that all these games that we're thinking that we played it on Nintendo. I played Mega Man on Nintendo.
Yep.
I played Ghosts and Goblins on Nintendo. And a bunch of other 8-bit, not even 8-bit, like
6-bit.
6-bit games that I played on Nintendo. So there would just be basically coming on. Final Fantasy, it's a Nintendo game. It's not Capcom, but I'm just saying that to make a point that all these games that are very popular now started as regular Nintendo games.
Right.
Metal Gear Solid, Nintendo. Like all these games started with the roots with Nintendo. So if Nintendo wanted to buy it and they're a Japanese company, I think that'd be good for Nintendo. Suck for everybody else.
Yeah.
It would definitely suck for everybody
But it'd be
else.
a hell of a power move. Now I think but Nintendo's losing money on Wii U. They're trying to make another. They're doing another system already.
Yep.
To the 3DS is doing well for them. But I don't think they're profiting. I mean, people at Nintendo are taking pay cuts because the Wii U is doing so fucking bad. You know what I'm saying? So I think the only company that's doing, and I don't mean platform, I mean company, Nintendo, Sony, Microsoft, not Xbox, Wii, PlayStation, that could buy them would be Microsoft. Could you imagine a world where exclusively made... Could you imagine a world where the next Devil May Cry and Scalebound are exclusive IPs for Microsoft platform? Would you buy Xbox One?
I plan on buying an Xbox One.
No. Not only that, but of course I know.
For just if it came
And
down
the
to
next. Check this out. Not even this. The next Street Fighter is exclusively for Xbox with crossover characters from Killer Instinct. Orchid versus Chun-Li. Oh my god.
Oh man.
Oh.
Dang.
I don't want to think about it.
My head hurts. My head hurts.
Think about it.
I don't want to think about it either. My head hurts now.
That's
you do that?
That's what could happen.
You knew this was gonna happen. Why'd you have to say that?
You're a dick for this one.
Yeah,
This could possibly
You're a dick for this
happen.
one.
I mean, any final thoughts?
You got me on that one. I would like to see. I would like to see Sony pick them up just because I think Sony needs it. Like you were saying,
Yeah.
they're hemorrhaging money.
Yeah. I mean, definitely big boost. I mean, if the only place I can play Street Fighter, the next iteration of their versus, if it's Capcom versus Street Fighter, maybe if it's DC versus Street Fighter, whatever the case is, like the next Street Fighter game, if it's only on one system, I'm getting that system.
Yeah, it's gonna be rough for whoever picks up the IPs.
Oh, definitely, definitely.
If someone goes like balls to wall, full on,
That's what I'm saying.
If
I'm saying like, wouldn't it be a great power move for Xbox, for Microsoft in general, like falling behind in the console races by at least $3 million? You have the next Street Fighter, Devil May Cry, crossover game, Mega Man. I mean the list goes on and on of exclusives that could possibly come out just as Capcom exclusive only on Xbox with the only on Xbox logo. Or only on Nintendo logo. Only on PlayStation logo.
I'm just hoping that
Only on Ouya logo.
God
Ouya just does a massive takeover.
damn. And then it's just like we just see Capcom disappear forever. We never see anything from Capcom ever again.
Well, we'll keep you posted on that one. We went a little long on that one, but definitely worth talking.